My name's Richard Burgon. I'm a Member of Parliament in the UK Parliament, representing the constituency of Leeds East. I'm the former Shadow Secretary of State for Justice in the UK. And I'm recording this short video for our friends in the United States who have been campaigning against the dangers of online suicide forums. I first learnt about online suicide forums when I was approached by two inspiring people from the area that I represent. Catherine and Melanie. They came to me because they were running a campaign to guard against the dangers of suicide forums after they lost somebody very dear to them, Joe Nihil. Joe was a popular young man in our area, a former army cadet, very well known, very well loved by his family and by so many friends. He'd suffered 3 bereavements and he was struggling with his mental health following that. But he was getting better. He was doing incredibly well on the path to recovery when he spent some days on an online suicide forum. Following that time on an online suicide forum, tragically, Joe took his own life and he left a message for his family. And that message included a request that they do all that they can to stop what happened to him happening to other people, to campaign against online suicide forums. And his family have done that in such an inspirational way. Catherine, Joe's mother, and Melanie, Joe's sister-in-law, have been running a fantastic, inspiring campaign. And as a result of their efforts, lives have been saved now. And as a result of their efforts, lives will be saved in the future as well. It's been a big week for this campaign here in the UK. Some time ago, I put down an early day motion in Parliament calling for action against the dangers of online suicide forums. And I was delighted when 52 members of Parliament from 7 different political parties backed that early day motion. I requested that the government meet with Melanie and meet with Catherine to discuss this issue and discuss what could be done about it and what's going to be done about it. Early this week, Melanie, Catherine and I met with the government minister from the Department for Culture, Media and Sport, Caroline Dinenage. And Melanie and Catherine explained their story to the government minister. They explained what happened to Joe. They explained their experiences of online suicide forums. They explained what they and we believe needs to be done. And we were delighted with the update from the government minister. This week, in the Queen's speech in the UK Parliament, because the Queen's speech is where the Queen reads out a speech given to her by the government detailing their plans for new laws in the period ahead. In the Queen's speech this week, the Queen announced that the government would be bringing in the Online Safety Bill. And the Online Safety Bill aims to tackle, amongst other things, the threat of online suicide forums. And the Online Safety Bill has now been published. This week it has been published. And it proposes effective action in relation to things like online suicide forums. It proposes making those that run web platforms responsible for things like online suicide forums. I know that's a challenge that you face in the United States in relation to Section 230, which allows companies that run web platforms to evade responsibility for what appears on those web platforms. What the Online Safety Bill here in the UK proposes is big fines for web platforms where there's user-generated, interactive sites like suicide forums that are dangerous in that way. And the fines that the Online Safety Bill talks about are fines of £18 million or 10% of annual global turnover, whichever is the greater. And so it's been a big week for the campaign. We can see the change that Melanie and Catherine have been working for now coming on the horizon. And many MPs from different parties have been working on this. I am a Member of Parliament from the Labour Party. Owen Paterson, a Conservative Member of Parliament. He has been very vocal and very brave working on this issue following his wife tragically taking her own life after accessing online suicide forums. And this week as well, I attended a cross-party roundtable with the government minister on the plan to take this legislation forward. So I know that Kelly and others in the United States are running inspiring campaigns in the same way that Catherine and Melanie have here in the UK. I know that in the United States you face this challenge in relation to Section 230, but I'm sure you can overcome this challenge. And when you do, it will be a fantastic achievement that will save lives and make a huge difference. So it's been a big week for the campaign here in the UK. I know that the government in the UK will be speaking to governments around the world about this issue to try and get governments working together to tackle this threat. But I want to pay tribute to Catherine, I want to pay tribute to Melanie, I want to pay tribute to people like Kelly in the United States, who Catherine and Melanie have told me so much about. It seems that change is coming and it's not a moment too soon. That's a fantastic way to pay tribute to the memory of Joe Nihil and all those others who have lost their lives after accessing online suicide forums.